YSS. Right. So this is our agenda and our presentation outline for today. So I will explain to you the background of our organization and the student volunteer mission, then our previous volunteer mission that we have done throughout 2017, and our special projects. Right. So YSS, we are wholly owned by Ministry of Education Malaysia, whereby our aim to developing Malaysia as a hub of volunteerism, and also to promote and also to produce the global volunteer leaders among the student volunteers in Malaysia. And as you can see on the slide, ladies and gentlemen, we have 7 objectives. And I'm not going to explain that because we already distribute the SDG report, Sustainability Report, and you may refer on it, right? So that's our value. We have to produce global volunteer leaders, high impact programs, right volunteer for the right job, immersion concept, and also inclusiveness. Okay, in YSS we have 6 clusters. We make sure all these clusters we apply during our missions, and we have education clusters, we have agri-bio and environment, community development, health and medical cluster, disaster and crisis and disaster management, right? So all these clusters we make sure they apply during the mission, and we trying to meet the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And ladies and gentlemen, YSS also embedded under our education blueprint, Malaysia Education Blueprint 2015 to 2025, whereby we are parked under Shift 1. As you can see, this is the Shift 1, to produce a holistic and balanced graduate. Right. So these are the student aspiration that what blueprints hope to achieve. All these criteria. We want our student volunteers to have a language proficiency, thinking skill, knowledge, leadership skills, and all that. Right. So as you can see on your right side of the slides, we are government agencies. We are wholly owned by Ministry of Education. We are on the top of the pyramid, whereby we work closely with University Community Transformation Center. Like in United Kingdom, we call it Town and Gown, and we also work with the public university, private university, teachers training college, and also polytechnics, right? So all this volunteerism landscape in higher education institution in Malaysia consists about 1.3 million students. Right, so this is how we developing our student volunteers. Once they're selected to join our student volunteer missions, internationally or locally, after they finish to do the 2 weeks or 1 month volunteering program with us, they will become our alumni. And after they become our alumni, and they will back to their campus, and they will back to their college, and they will initiate their own program. So this is how we train them during the mission. We train them how to do the project management, funding management, and how to do the proper reporting line. And this is volunteerism is all about knowledge, getting new knowledge, and require new skill and meeting a new friends. And this is being a value added for our student volunteer leaders. And every year also, if you see the point number 3, we initiate our volunteer leadership development program, whereby actually for a chosen student volunteers, for our alumni, special for chosen alumni, and we will train them how to prepare themselves before they enter the working world, because this is the most very important, because this is related to graduate employability among our student volunteers. Right. In YSS, we work close with our partners and sponsors. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, one of the members of Iave, and we also endorsed by ASEAN, 10 ASEAN countries, Association of Southeast Asian Nation, and we work with the government agencies and training. We also work with the UNV Malaysia, United Nations Volunteer Malaysia, and also strategic partners of ASEAN, which is Ho Chi Minh Union, Indonesia, and also Laos. So this is our participation program that we have done, and we are invited to speaking engagement, training, and for example, we just done our YSS student volunteer mission to Sarawak, whereby we gather all student volunteers from 10 ASEAN countries plus China to do a student volunteer mission in Sarawak. And we also attended the Iave conference in 2014 in Gold Coast, Australia, and also in Mexico 2016, and do our benchmarking in a few countries, for example Australia. And we have launched our first pilot mission to Europe under the project Kitchen in Calais, whereby we feed 1,500 refugees every day in the Calais transit camp, right? So we do also have received a global internship from the various countries. Recently we just received from Canada, from Victoria University, if I'm not mistaken, and they do the internship. And we also welcome for those who are interested to do internship in our organization. So this is the overview throughout 2017, our volunteer mission, special projects, and project that we have done. As you can see, we have done about 8,756 volunteering hours, and you also may refer on the SDG books that we distributed. Right, so next I will highlight a few missions that we have done 2017. Right, so first, YSS ASEAN Student Volunteers Mission to Sarawak 2017. We trained 121 student volunteers from 3 different countries, from Malaysia, Laos, and also Vietnam. And for your information, ladies and gentlemen, Sarawak was located in the east part of Malaysia, in the Borneo Island. Same goes to Sabah. We have 2 states in the Borneo Island, Sabah and Sarawak. And Sarawak was the biggest state in Malaysia, and it's very big states, and most of the people, some of the people living in the rural and the remote area, and it's very hard to reach them. So we send our students in 5 locations, do their volunteering program for 2 weeks, as you can see on the picture. So we do all the 6 clusters that I've mentioned just now. For example, we do health screening under the health clusters. We do our teaching, and we also have done our community development, right? So second mission that we have done in 2017 was in Sabah. As I mentioned just now, Sabah actually also in Borneo Island, and the second largest state in Malaysia, and it's very beautiful state actually. So we train about 89 student volunteers, from some of them from Sudan, also from Sudan and India, Singapore and Indonesia, and our Malaysian student who study in United Kingdom. We send them to 6 different locations, in 3 different districts simultaneously for 2 weeks, and they have done their very good job. And you can see our mission focusing on the schools. We are school-centric program, and that's why we are very we teach our program into the education, because we believe that education can change the social of the community, right? So this is our mission in Vietnam. So every year we will send about 50 to Vietnam, and we work closely with the Ho Chi Minh Communist Youth Union in Vietnam. and we are the only country who invited by the Ho Chi Minh Communist Union to join their annual program, biggest volunteer movement in Vietnam. And during the summer holiday, they will initiate a very big volunteer movement in Vietnam. So we are part of the team. So last project that I want to highlight was in Laos, and we sent 50 student volunteers to Laos, along together with 50 student volunteers from National University of Laos, the local student there, and we stayed there for 2 weeks, and we applied all 6 clusters. Teaching, we built a parking lot, and we build a road, and we do a health screening or also education. Right. So this is our current activities for 2018 that we have done in July. The first time in the ASEAN level, fully supported by 10 ASEAN countries and ASEAN dialogue partners and ASEAN Secretariat. 19 higher learning institutions involved for these activities, these missions, and involve 11 locations in Sarawak, right? So this is our very first time and very big project that we have done until now. So I'm gonna play some video afterwards, after I end my presentation, to show the projects of YSS ASEAN Sarawak. Right. So our next agenda was special projects. So I'm gonna explain to what special project that we have done. Right. So as for 2018, we have done our mission to Vietnam, to Laos, and to Indonesia, and also Sarawak. And ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned just now, we have 6 clusters, and one of our cluster was crisis and disaster management. And under the crisis and disaster management, we established alumni disaster management team, whereby all this team consists all our alumni who have special expertise on disaster management, and we mobilize them every time during the disaster. But as you can see on the slide, we do our special project on disaster, especially for fundraising. Okay, this is alumni initiative. Our alumni do their fundraising for earthquake victim in Lombok, and fundraising for Laos, Kerala, India, and recently for Sulawesi, Indonesia. So this is under our alumni initiative program that we have done, right? So as for 2017, we have done 2 our international missions. We are very ASEAN-centric, that's why we focusing on ASEAN. And we have done our 2 local mission. This is the Sabah and Sarawak in the Borneo Island, and this is Peninsula Malaysia, and this is Vietnam, this is Laos. So for this year, we already our first mission, we sent a student to Indonesia for 2018, right? So this is our other special projects. We also do our projects, our program we engage with the Aboriginal people, or we call it indigenous people, orang asli, in some places in Peninsula of Malaysia. And we also work with United Nations Volunteers Malaysia, UNV, and we done our program in All Folks Home. And we have our volunteer weekend, which is in Putrajaya. Putrajaya was an administrative city of Malaysia. So the idea was we want to encourage to call all the Putrajaya citizens to do their volunteering program during the weekend, right? So this is the achievement of our alumni. Some of them still in the college, and some of them already graduate. And after they graduate, they join the government services, and they join the police force. For example, this is one of the alumni who appointed as the best cadet during their service. And as you can see, some of them receive awards in the international levels, and some of them being the best volunteers. And in their college and also their in the national level, right? So as part of our alumni training initiative that we have done, we send our alumni all over the world, and we send them to the conferences, training and speaking engagement. And as you can see, we send them, some of them we send to the USA, some United Kingdom, Russia and Uzbekistan, and some India, and we also send our alumni for in Mexico 2016, right? So winning people's hearts beyond mind and soul beyond borders. So that's our tagline. So before I end my presentation, I would like to show videos that our project in Sarawak ASEAN 2018. Here you go. So that's our tagline. So SS ASEAN Student Volunteers Mission to Sarawak, Malaysia. 11 locations that we have sent our students, 5 districts and 3 divisions. This is in Sarawak. This is the map of Sarawak. 11 different locations. So this is all our participants from ASEAN countries and also China.
Sukarelawan, siswa Malaysia, berhati wajah akhlak mulia, membantu masyarakat dunia mencapai keadilan.
So before we send them, we have training. We will give them training that we call pre-departure training.
Sesama kita bekerjasama menuju jaya. Lihat itu yang utama, semangat satu Malaysia.
So this is one of the ceremony, welcoming ceremony for the native Sarawak. So they will pick as a symbol to welcoming this. So this is part of the ritual, welcoming ritual. So this is one of the projects that we have done in one of the location in Kampung Tunong. They build a badminton court and for kindergarten. So this is our education clusters. So they teach, they do fun learning, and they do some motivational. This is under our health and clusters. They do have screening. Some of them are medical students. So this is under the ICT clusters. Crisis and disaster management clusters. So they teach how to use the. And they also have done their fire drill for school students.
You only know yourself by doing volunteerism. The more you do volunteerism, the more you know yourself. And thank you very much again. Congratulations.
our partners in the West ASEAN mission. 19 Highland distribution of ASEAN and China. So this is our strategic alliances